It's still opening. It hasn't started yet.
And Dr. Bell, you're muted.
You want to tell me when to unmute, or should I just unmute right now? I'll just be quiet.
It hasn't started yet.
So it doesn't matter if I'm unmuted.
No, it doesn't matter right now.
To unmute, or should I just unmute right now? I'll just be quiet. I hear feedback. So it doesn't matter.
You're not muted.
No, it doesn't matter right now.
Not muted.
Okay, we're on.
Ready?
Yep.
Hello, School 22 families. I am Dr. Clinton Bell, principal of Abraham Lincoln School 22. On behalf of the teachers and staff at School 22, I welcome you to the parent community meeting. This meeting hopefully will be one of the many meetings that we would like to have this school year. Our focus tonight is on how you can best help your child during its virtual learning time. Before we get started, I would like to introduce to you additional administrators that are here to serve you at School 22. We have Ms. Nguyen, assistant principal, and Ms. Labrador, community psych coordinator. Ms. Nguyen, would you like to say a few words?
Buenas noches, padres y familias, estudiantes. Soy la señora Nguyen, asistente principal de la escuela número 22. Es un placer estar con ustedes hoy, esta noche, para ver diferentes estrategias que podemos usar durante aprendizaje virtual.
And Ms. Labrador, would you like to say a few words?
Buenas noches, padres. Yo soy Wanda Labrador, la coordinadora de la escuela comunitaria en la escuela 22, y estoy aquí a la orden de ustedes para ayudar con este tiempo mientras los niños están estudiando de manera virtual. Bienvenidos.
Thank you. Ms. Nguyen, I don't know if you would like to repeat what I said earlier. Welcome. Just welcoming our parents in Spanish.
Queremos darle la bienvenida a los padres y queremos darle muchas alternativas para que ustedes puedan ayudar a sus hijos mientras están aprendiendo en la clase. Ms. Nguyen también tiene algo que decir.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, parents, let's talk about how you can best support your child in a virtual learning time. Let's talk about how you can be involved and how you can support the teacher, the classroom teacher, and your child during instruction. If you have questions, you can send them through the chat, or we also have an email address that you can also send questions to. If you take a look at the first slide we have here, it shows that synchronous time at the top of the slide. And synchronous time is that time where the teacher is visible on the screen. The teacher is leading the instruction. There's not a recording. The teachers are live, meaning that they are really interacting with your students or your child. And if you look at the box below synchronous time, it tells you what students would be doing during this synchronous time. Now, students are expected to be working with the teacher during this synchronous time. They're expected to be asking questions, answering questions, interacting with the teacher and their classmates. So students should be participating in guided practice with the teacher, meaning that they're completing the work activities along with the teacher. So all of this work is done in collaboration with the teacher. If you look at the box below our student expectation, where it says parents, it shows how you, the parent, can be helpful during the synchronous time. And what you can do to help is make sure that you're child or student is on the technology, logged on appropriately. You can make sure that the child is focused and that they have a quiet place to work. Sometimes the teacher may ask you to help, which is obviously a good opportunity to be involved in your child's instruction. Now, if we look at asynchronous time, that's independent. I believe I need the slide to change. Asynchronous time. Looking at the top of the page, it says independent work. During this time, students would be working independently, staying focused on the assignment. And this is the time that students should be practicing what they've been taught during the synchronous time. If you look at the space below, where it says students, you see that parents can help during this asynchronous time. Parents can help by, again, you can help by helping with technology support, helping to make sure that the student is logged on. You can help your child stay focused by making sure that they are quiet, they have a quiet space to work. Or you can review the task with your child. You have to be careful though that you're not actually doing the work for your child, because asynchronous time is an opportunity for them to practice the work that they've been taught during synchronous time. That's when the teacher taught them live. Parents, there's another time during the school day and year that it's important to understand how you can best support your child. This time is doing testing. So if we want to move the slide to that. Testing or assessment time. From time to time, teachers will be testing students or giving them assessments. They will let your child know when they're being tested or assessed. During a test or assessment time, students are expected to work independently. They are not permitted to use other resources such as calculators or textbook unless instructed to or asked to do so by their teacher. The students are expected to stay focused, remain focused on taking the test and the assessment. During testing or assessment time, parents, here's what you can do. You can help with the technology, making sure that they're logged on appropriately. You can also make sure that they remain focused and that they have a quiet space to work, to complete the assessment. It's very important that your child complete the test without your help. Tests are used to determine how best to help your child. If you help your child with the test, then the teacher will not have the correct information needed to plan lessons to help your child. In a few days, your child will be taking the NWEA assessment test. You will receive notification from your child's teacher. I know there was supposed to be translation here, and I don't know if I went ahead of my translator.
It's okay. We can go back to synchronous time and Ms. Labrador can translate.
Do you want to do that now?
Yes.
Okay.
Ok, así que cuando los niños están aprendiendo en tiempo sincrónico, quiere decir que la maestra está enseñando y ellos están aprendiendo toditos juntos con la guía de la maestra. Quiere decir que los estudiantes durante ese tiempo están aprendiendo y trabajando con la maestra. Durante ese tiempo hay práctica guiada, como dice ahí, bajo el cuadrito de los estudiantes. Durante ese tiempo, lo que pedimos de los padres es que estén pendientes para darle apoyo tecnológico a los niños. que estén cerca para hacerse seguro de que los niños estén enfocados en un lugar muy calladito y que opcionalmente puedan darle apoyo a los niños con la práctica guiada. Eso es lo que pedimos de los padres durante ese tiempo. Next slide. Durante el tiempo asincrónico, es el tiempo independiente, durante el tiempo que los niños trabajan solos. Durante ese tiempo, los maestros pueden que los pongan en un salón virtual de espera. Durante este tiempo, los estudiantes trabajan independientemente, se quedan enfocados en el trabajo que les han asignado la maestra, y los padres durante ese tiempo también pueden darle apoyo tecnológico a los estudiantes. Pueden hacerse seguro que los estudiantes estén enfocados en un sitio callado, y si tienen que darle repaso al trabajo, si es necesario. Ahora, pronto los niños van a hacer exámenes. Esto es un área muy importante. Los estudiantes deben estar trabajando independientemente durante ese tiempo. No deben estar consultando recursos a menos que la maestra los dirijan a hacer eso. Los estudiantes también deben estar enfocados en su propio examen o prueba, no en la de los hermanos ni nada más que esté en la casa. Los padres durante este tiempo le pedimos que hagan apoyo otra vez de tecnología por si hay algún problema con la computadora. Háganse seguro de que sus niños estén enfocados y en un sitio callado, pero no deben ayudar a los niños con sus preguntas. Queremos saber lo que los niños saben, y si alguien los ayuda, no vamos a poder saber lo que ellos saben.
Thank you, Ms. Labrador. So just additional notes about testing, and we want to stress it again, parents. It's really important that students have the opportunity to complete the test independently, that is without your help. The teachers need the information about your child so that they can plan their lessons. So we just really want to stress to you the importance of allowing our students and your child to complete any test or assessment on their own. Again, I want to remind you that in a few days, your child will be taking the NWEA assessment test, and you will receive notification from your child's teacher as that test approaches and the day of that particular test. And then we know that you will work collaboratively with us, knowing that a student taking a test is an independent activity.
Notas adicionales. Como ya dijimos, pronto los niños van a comenzar a tomar unos exámenes. Los maestros los van a notificar cuando los niños le van a dar evaluaciones a los estudiantes para permitirle a completar su evaluación independientemente. Para ayudar a su hijo, su maestro le va a avisar de cuál es la habilidad. Así que por favor, deje que su hijo complete su evaluación solo para que nosotros podamos saber cuál es su nivel. Muchas gracias.
Next slide. Is that the next one? Other suggestions to help your child doing his or her best, for her to do his or her best. So we want, obviously, and you heard a few times that one of the things that really is important is that students have a quiet place to work so that they can concentrate and focus on the instruction. And so we kind of encourage that whatever you could do to create that quiet space, which could include headphones, will help with our students' focus and help with their instruction during a synchronous time, for sure. Another helpful suggestion is breakfast and lunch. Creating that schedule, the schedule that you would normally have if you were in the physical building. There's a time to eat breakfast, and then there's a time to eat lunch. And it's important that students actually eat breakfast during a time that's set aside for breakfast and eat lunch for a time that's set aside for lunch. If they're eating breakfast during the instruction while the teacher is teaching, then they're not able to focus as well on what the teacher is saying. So we'd like for you to help us by ensuring that the students have that time before 9 o'clock to eat their breakfast. And then we'd like for you to help us ensure that students have that lunch period to eat lunch. And the Chromebooks are very expensive. And so we want to make sure that we keep the Chromebooks safe, but we also want to be safe. So the important thing is to have the Chromebooks placed on a table or desk or a flat surface. And then the safety part of the Chromebook is it's plugged into a wall. So you don't want the wires, or you don't want the student to have the Chromebook in the bed or on the couch, because we're dealing with wires and electricity. So we want to make sure that students are safe and that Chromebooks are safe themselves, because a broken Chromebook can take a while to be repaired. And while we're trying to repair it, that means that your child may not necessarily be able to log on to the instructional program. And last but not least, we'd like for you to help us in terms of making sure that students are ready and they have all of the supplies that they need, that is right next to their Chromebook or their workspace, so that they can take full advantage of the time, and it's not a lot of time that they have while the teacher is teaching them synchronously. That means synchronously. That means that they're teaching them live, and the teacher's there on the video and having that conversation, that interaction with them. So we'd like for you to help us and make sure that those materials that the students need are right next to their workspace.
Aquí tenemos otras sugerencias para ayudar a que sus niños hagan lo mejor que puedan. Si tienen varios niños en una habitación, podemos sugerirles a que usen audífonos para minimizar las distracciones. Y también eso los ayuda a enfocar. También le pedimos que por favor dejen tiempo para que los niños coman desayuno antes de que empecemos las clases a las 9 de la mañana, y que también puedan comer su almuerzo durante la hora del almuerzo, a menos que tengan una circunstancia especial y que puedan hablar con el maestro antes de que puedan comer durante el tiempo que el maestro permitió. También le pedimos que por favor mantengan las computadoras Chromebooks en un sitio plano, ya sea una mesa, un escritorio, una superficie plana, para mantenerla segura, porque ellas son caras, y también si se rompe, pues durante ese tiempo en lo que se arreglan, los niños no están aprendiendo, y pues es una pérdida de tiempo también. Y por último, le pedimos a los padres que por favor aseguren que los niños tengan sus materiales para hacer su trabajo antes de que empiecen las clases. Si necesitan sus lápices, sus libros, su pizarrita, lo que sea que van a utilizar en el día, que lo tengan cerca para que así estén preparados.
And we're coming to the end of this community meeting. And we want to, first of all, thank you for taking the time to view this or at least visit us in this virtual environment. We definitely, and hearing from all the teachers and staff here at School 22, we truly do miss our students and miss you, seeing you face to face physically. And we're looking forward to that moment that we'll all be able to come back together in our school building and truly interact with each other. We do have some information though on how you can stay in contact with us. We have the school phone number, and we also have a new email address. If you send us an email of questions, we will get them back to you, a response. And we also have a telephone number to our Technology Support Center at our central office. And you can call any of those numbers. If you're calling the tech support number and you're not having success with that, you can call us back at the school, School 22 at 467-7160, and we will help you with your tech support. I just want to say again, we miss you, parents and our students. We miss seeing them physically, and we are looking for that opportunity to be reunited. I just want to say on behalf of the staff, teachers and staff at School 22, I thank you for spending time with us tonight and for being partners. And I'm looking forward to more opportunities to speak with you in the future.
Antes que terminemos hoy, queremos darle nuestra información de contacto. El doctor Bell dice que él extraña mucho a los estudiantes, y eso es la verdad para todas las personas que trabajamos en la Escuela 22. Extrañamos a los niños un montón. Estamos deseosos de estar en el edificio con ellos, pero mientras tanto nos pueden contactar al teléfono de la escuela que está en la pantalla. También tenemos correo electrónico que es 22info@rcsdk12.org. O también pueden llamar al teléfono de tecnología si están teniendo problemas con el Chromebook o si tienen problemas con el MiFi. También pueden utilizar el app que está en el Chromebook, en Rock Connect, que está en la pantalla, que dice Help Desk. Nosotros, como dijo el Dr. Bear, estamos muy deseosos de ver a los niños una vez más. Estamos aquí para ustedes, para ayudarlos, y estamos muy encantados de poder ayudarlos a ustedes.
Bye-bye.